Now we are continuing our review and reading of chapter 9. We have been reading this book for you from chapter 1 and we are now in chapter 9, the book LEKKI Headmaster. You already know that this book is the official JAMB book for this year's JAMB UTME, and it's very much compulsory, so it's not optional. Every JAMB candidate must get this book. Every JAMB candidate must also read the book. So I want you to pay attention as we keep reading. If you are new to this book, LEKKI Headmaster is a book by Garba, Kabir Garba, right? And it's compulsory. That is the book you'll be reading. We are helping you, right? We are reading it for you. I've reviewed and read from chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3 to now we are in chapter 9. I want you to pay attention. Also, if you watch this video from beginning to the end, I'm going to give you free JAMB past questions. Free JAMB past question. I'm also going to give you free JAMB syllables. Then if you join our channel, at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a list of all the JAMB CBT centers so that you don't make any mistake. The JAMB CBT center will guide you on the particular place to go for your JAMB registration and JAMB exam. I'm also going to give you this book, LEKKI Headmaster, free if you join our YouTube channel. Chapter 9, the title is Laughing Waterfalls. Stardom Schools had been on an excursion to Badagry before. In the past 10 years, it must have traveled there about 3 times, so the school is always going for excursion. You know, Mr. Beppo Adewale is the principal of a school in Lekki called Stardom School, right? And there is a big school for rich people, right? It's not all those small schools, right? Okay. That included when the school organized a retreat for teachers, lodging them at the Whispering Palms Resort. On the part of the students, they visited renowned and iconic sites in the historical town. Just one student also went on an excursion as part of their Welcome to Stardom package. Visiting the city of white sand and coconuts. Which city is called the city of white sand and coconut? Badagry, right? So I want you to pay rapt attention to this chapter because from the expo I'll be giving you, a lot of questions came from this chapter. Why teachers, some staff and parents might have complained about the school management, they could not deny its well-deserved credit for giving students great exposure and making learning fun. Apart from never lagging behind in the celebration of special days, Children's Day, Mother's Day, and Teacher's Day, it organized parties, concerts, and lectures that featured experts from different fields. Some of these programs even took the pupils out of Lagos. I remember one of you commenting in a previous chapter that my voice sounded like Mr. Beppo's voice. I wonder how. During his 2 decades plus with the school, so Mr. Beppo has been the principal in the school for over 20 years, 2 decades. Beppo successfully sold the management the idea of an excursion per term to a place of attraction within the country and an annual international excursion. There were few occasions when the management could not keep to the yearly schedule. Nevertheless, it kept the idea running over 70% of the time. Beppo wanted the students to have a thorough grasp of their country. He was aware many of them came from elite families that would eventually send them abroad after secondary education. So he thought many of the students came from rich families that would eventually locate abroad after their secondary education. So he was trying to take them around, let them visit many places so that even when they travel to another country, maybe Europe, US, Asia, they will still have a route in Nigeria. Based on his philosophy, students of the school visited quite essential places like Ikigosi Warm Springs. I want you to note this place. And remember, there was something I have taught you in this channel. I've taught all of you following Noble tutorials that anytime you are reading or we are reading together and you see any word that you do not understand, pause, don't rush. If you see any word you don't understand, go over and check the meaning in a dictionary. Some of you have a dictionary in your phone, or you can just check a normal dictionary in your home or in your school. So I want you to stop now. Go and check for me the definition of this word, quite essential. You can see it on the screen. Quite, that is Quintessential. Check the meaning and tell me the meaning in the comment. Very important. It's the first assignment I'm giving you in this chapter. Based on his philosophy, students of the school visited with essential places like the Ikigosi Warm Springs in Ekiti State. Note these places. Remember, in the expo questions videos we have been doing, you can see that these very names have been coming up. The Ikigosi Warm Spring in Ekiti State, Erin Ijesha Waterfalls in Osun State, and the Owu Waterfalls in Kwara, which is the highest in West Africa. The highest waterfall in West Africa is in Kwara State. It is called Owu Waterfalls, measuring 120 meters above water level and cascading 330 feet down an escapement. You can see another word now. The student also went to the Gurara Falls in Niger State. A symbol of Nigeria's rich tourist attraction, the waterfalls exude a gripping natural ambience and wondrous allure. And while they boast ever-gulling waters splashing against joyous reefs of rocky rocks, some of them radiate very interesting stories. For instance, the Ikigosi was in that is Ikigosi waterfall. So Ikigosi, I told you about Ikigosi Warm Spring. Ikigosi Warm Spring in Ekiti State. For instance, the Ikigosi, okay, was in 1852 discovered by Reverend John S. McG from his mission base in nearby Igede Ekiti. He had defied warning by the natives that visiting the spring could be fatal, invoking the wrath of supernatural forces. So the person that was able to find the place is Reverend John S. McG. That is, white men will always say they came here to find things, but our forefathers had discovered it even before the white men came. He had defied, okay, McG, however, conquered the might and roots. Let's jump that. The state government eventually took over the site and developed it for tourism purposes. Another place is the Gurara. The Gurara. What did we say about the Gurara? Let's go back. Okay. The Gurara. Igogosi Warm Spring. We're talking about Erini Ijesha. We're talking about the Owu Waterfalls. Okay, there's another place called the Gurara was said to have been discovered by a Gwari hunter called Bupa in 1745. I'm going to send you this book when you join our YouTube channel. So I want you to note these things. Almost 2 centuries before the Europeans chanced upon it in 1925. So when you are reading this chapter, I want you to underline this. JAMB will not play with this chapter. They will ask you questions from chapter 9. I am emphasizing it. It's very important. That is why I need you to watch this video right now from beginning to the end. And I also want you to believe that you will score at least 300 in your JAMB. You will score at least 300. I want you to claim it. Type under the comments and tell me the particular score you want to make in your JAMB this year and that you claim it, okay? The Erin Ijesha Waterfalls, also known as Olumirin, was discovered in 114 AD, 1140, by one of the daughters of Oduduwa forebear of the Yoruba. What does forebear mean? Tell me in the comment section. One source, however, knows that hunters discovered it in 1140 AD. Another yet said that the site was discovered by a woman called Akinla, the founder of the Ilin Ijesha town and the granddaughter of Oduduwa during the migration of the people of Ife people to Irin Ijesha. Are you following? If you are following, let me know. By the way, remember to go and watch the other videos we have done on chapter 1, 2, chapter 3, 4, chapter 5, 6. We have done all those chapters. And in our channel, I will share the link with you. We have been doing expo questions that JAMB. We have been giving you questions JAMB we set from this book. Questions JAMB we set from this book. I've been giving you the expo. So I want you to go check it out. To show that stardom meant business, it listed other waterfalls it planned to visit as the years rolled by. Those waterfalls include Kwa Falls in N.H.S, Calabar, Asop in Plateau, Karu in Nasarawa, and Barup in JAMB, Taraba State. Also on Bepo's personally researched list were the Ohum waterfalls. I have taken my student, you know I'm a school proprietor in Enugu State. The name of our school is Noble High School. I have taken our student to Ohum Waterfalls some years back. Right? Oweri, Ezukako in Anambra, and Agbokim in Cross River State. Others on the to visit list were the Farem Ruwa Waterfalls in Nasarawa State and the Masrega in Kafanchan, Kaduna State. Bepo, remember Bepo is the principal, records sadly that the students, when they visited Ikigosi Warm Spring, did not have enough time to see the Arenta waterfalls nearby. Remember the Ikigosi waterfall is where? Where is Ikigosi waterfall? Tell me, I've mentioned it. He hoped that even after he might have left stardom, the school would one day be on the road to Arenta, a waterfall surrounded by many rocks, uniquely flaunting 7 district steps. Stardom had also been to the Yankari Game Reserves in Bauchi, the National War Museum in Umuahia, Abia State, the Hanging Lake in Ado Awaye, Oyo State, the amazing Kano Palace in Kano State, and multi-layered and cultural imbued Oni of Ife Palace in Ile-Ife. Bepo recorded that the student also explored the site of the Tor Oran Miyan staff, by which Oduduwa, the forebear of the Yoruba, was said to have descended from heaven, as well as the elegant ambience of Abafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, where Mrs. Ibidon Gloss graduated with a law degree. The woman who is Mrs. Ibidon Gloss, if you know, please tell me in the comment. If you have been following me from chapter 1 till now, of course you should know who she is. I've talked about her many times. I want you to tell me who she is in the school. At national festivals too, stardom sometimes stood to be counted. Each student had been part of the Calabar Carnival, Osun Osogbo Festival, Agungu Festival in Kebbi, and the Ofala Festival in Onitsha. Wow, now big man school, it's a nice school. Bepo believed there is this Yoruba. I'm not Yoruba, I can't recite the Yoruba. If you are Yoruba, please read it for me. A Yoruba proverb meaning charity begins at home. Thus, stardom students and graduates should have Lagos tourism etched in their memory. It was why the pupils regularly visited the National Theatre, Igamu, Surulere, the National Museum, the Mosun Center and City Mall, all in Onikan. They had been to the Epe Fish Market, Ijede Warm Spring in the Ikorodu area, as well as the Sombo Iredu in Ekpe, Ijebu, described as a system of defensive ditches built in 18 to 1000 AD in honor of the matriarch Bilikisu Sombo. Other places they toured in Lagos included the University of Lagos, Akoka. I've been there. I spent like several days there when I was in Lagos. The Lagos State University, Ojo, Lagos State Broadcasting Station, Agedingbi, the N.T.S station in Victoria Island, and the African Independent television station in Alabi. They had also been to the headquarters of several big companies such as Chevron, LEKKI, Shell at Broad Street, UBA, First Bank and Konoyo Towers in Marina, Globalcom on Victoria Island, MTN on Ikoyi and Niger Mobile on Banana Island. Have you been to Banana Island? Let me know in the comment. To show the students that life is a potpourri of opposites, go and find this meaning and tell me in the comment. P-O-T P-O-U-R-R-Y. What does it mean? P-O-T P-O-U-R-R-Y. Don't jump it. Find the meaning and tell me. Comment with the meaning. That's the second assignment. The students visited the high-class environments like Banana Island, Snake Island, and Magodo, and largely derided zones like Mushin, Ajegunle, and Ijora. They also visited the CSOS village in Isolo and other charity homes. So Stardom schools were always going out. In your secondary school days, do you normally go for excursions? Being born in a place like those does not condemn one to a life of penury. So when Beppo took them to those poor areas of Lagos, he always told them that if you are born in such areas, it doesn't mean you will be poor, right? He also emphasized that popular people like Idion Igalo and Victor Osimhen, the popular Nigerian football stars, that they also grew up in such poor areas of Lagos. Under Beppo's supervision and insatiable appetite for education by adventure, Stardom had been to the Iju Water Works in Adeyan, the Yaba. I've been to Yaba Psychiatric Hospital, where the students were addressed on the evils of hard drugs. If you are taking hard drugs, please stop. The Oyisa Foundation House in Maryland, which has over 7,000 artworks collected privately by Prince Yemisi Adodeyin and Lagos Blu-ray Mega Station in CMS. But in the spirit of World Slavery Day, they were back in Badagry, where the excursion, led personally by Beppo, would have implications for his proposed relocation. Badagry is a significant town in Lagos State and in Nigeria because of its pioneering contact with Atlantic slave traders. It is home to monuments such as the first-story building in the country, built by Henry Townsend in 1846, and where Ajayi Crowther stayed and made the first translation of the Yoruba Bible. Who made the translation of the Yoruba Bible? Ajayi Crowther. Where did it stay? In Badagry, such as the first-story building. Okay. Badagry is the base of the Ajiya tree, under which Christianity was first preached in Nigeria. There was a tree called Ajiya tree. Under this tree that the Europeans, the missionaries, started their preaching in Nigeria. The Mobile Royal Family Slave Relic Museum, which houses chains, padlocks, rods, etc., used in the slaves, kept there, en route to the point of no return. What is point of no return? And the Siriki Abbey Slave Museum, originally built by an ex-slave turned slave trader. That is why I need to send you this book. When I send you this book, visit chapter 9 and pay close attention, or you can listen to this chapter, watch this video again over and over again, so that you can actually gain insight. You can actually gain insight so that you don't miss any of the details. During the last excursion, the first port of call for the Stardom team, which comprises 40 students from SS1 and SS3, was the palace of the Akron of Badagry. The king hosted the pupils and served them some refreshment. The monarch explained to the students how Badagry was formed in the late 1720s by Bopo refugees from wars with the Fon people of Dohame. Its contact with the white explorers and slave dealers made the town a harbor from which slaves were exported to the Americas. But the story of our industry is far bigger than that of the unfortunate slave trade. The king had said, "We are strategically big in business, in agriculture and tourism. As far back as the 1820s, a British trading post was established here. We actually developed as a palm oil port, just as we were big in the importation of clothes." While the return of freed slaves in the 1820s also enriched our history, culture and business, coconut plantation had been established here by the 1880s. There was a comic interlude when one of the students asked Kabir if it was true that the name Badagry was derived from Badagry. The monarch affirmed the story. Are you following? Then the trip continued with a visit to the first story building. Remember, I said at the end of this chapter, I'm going to give you free JAMB past question, free JAMB syllabus, and if you join our channel, I will also give you, if you join our channel, I will send this book to you free of charge, and I will also give you a list, a free PDF list of all the JAMB CBT centers for you to focus on. Then the trip continued with a visit to the first story building, where the students spotted the first copy of the translated Bible. Where did they see the first copy of the translated Bible? That is the Bible that Ajayi Crowther translated to Yoruba. They saw it in the first story building. They moved to the first primary school in Nigeria, the Anglican Nursery and Primary School, formerly called Nursery of Infant Church, located in the Tapo area of Badagry. It was established when 1843. They were also at the point of no return. Where is point of no return? Where natives captured as slaves were thrown into ships that took them to Western countries. These slaves were thereafter resold abroad and taken to the farms of white masters. Place of no return is a place that slaves that were captured were thrown into ships that were now taken to America. At the Black Heritage Museum, Beppo was emotionally moved. They went to a museum called Black Heritage Museum. The principal, Mr. Beppo, was moved emotionally when he learned about the ugly experiences our forefathers experienced during the slave trade. But the principal had more questions. Okay. This was after he had seen lyrics and listened to a narration by the museum officer. He felt Africans had always been targets of barbarity and embarrassment. That was what happened during the transatlantic slave trade between 1500 and 1900. Our forefathers were sold as slaves. That's why today you have black Americans. If you want to study about this very well, read the book How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Rudney. You would see how millions upon millions of our forefathers were sold as slaves. Okay? But the principal had more questions. How, for instance, would anyone explain what had become the vogue? That is, Africans themselves, especially Nigerians, in Japa feet, voluntarily and desperately walking into the workforce of who seemed to be their yesterday masters. The new slavery, as he saw it, was that many were now dying to be part of. They were having sleepless nights, praying and fasting to get visas. They were selling all they had to pay fare. They are abandoning families, schools, work, business, and profession they built over the years just to escape the harsh environment at home and collect high-valued dollars, pounds, and euros abroad. Who not like better thing? In the process, many took up all the others' jobs and became the ever-weeping race, accusedly rushing into the enslavement after centuries of the transatlantic. The sentiment and resentment swelled through Beppo as he pictured himself also on the streets of Europe. You know, Beppo is about also locating to America, right? To the UK. His wife and 3 children are there. Now, he was thinking, in the olden days, the white people came here and took our forefathers as slaves to their place to work for them. But in our own time, we are the people that are willingly seeking for visa, selling lands, borrowing money, taking loans to also go there and work for them. Are we not the ones selling ourselves now as slaves? That is what people were thinking. Remember, if you want me to send you this book free, if you want me to send you a list of the JAMB CBT centers, and if you want me to be able to guide you, if you want to be able to call me, chat me, and all the rest, what you need to do is to join our YouTube channel. Just click on join. You will see an option to join the YouTube channel. I will also leave the link in the description of this video. If you want me to send you these past questions and syllabus, what you need to do is simply like this video. Just click on like, then share this video. Click on share, copy the link, share it on Facebook, share it on WhatsApp, on all the platforms. Then subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is very important. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, then come under this video and tell me, I have subscribed. I have subscribed. Once you type I have subscribed, I will chat you up and send those materials to you. Remember, like, share, subscribe, then join this YouTube channel. I'm leaving a video for you on the screen. Click on it and watch now.